What's up, guys? Here's Johnny, and today on Beyond the Pain, Unbreakable Threads, we are talking about my story. I'm John.
I'm Mom. I'm Ashley, and we are a mother and son duo. We're going to be talking about our life with Fabry, the struggles, the triumphs, and everything else in between. All right, dude, you ready to get started?
Yep.
All right, let's go. All right, so first off, we wanted to thank all of you for tuning back in with us this week. It's been a great week, hasn't it? Yeah. You want to give shout outs?
I'd like to shout out most of the people at the...
Okay, we're going to shout out to all of our supporters out there that have liked, followed, subscribed, commented, shared, all of the things, because you are the real MVPs. Yeah.
And thank you for supporting our Spotify and Instagram, especially our Instagram, because we greatly appreciate it. Now, let's get started, Mom.
Yeah. How was your week?
I don't know, man. It's kind of boring.
Kind of boring. All right. Well,
yesterday was kind of Monday was kind of yeah. Because what were you gonna ask? Because when I walk into Miss Boswell's class, you know what I see?
What?
Every time I go to my seat? So right there's a window, and above they're like orange ladybugs.
Her room is infested with ladybugs?
Yes.
Oh.
So, and every time I like look back, there's one flying toward me.
Maybe it's a sign of good luck.
I don't know, man.
That's what it's normally a thing for.
It's like a swarm of ladybugs. I'm telling you.
Extra good luck.
She said that she got rid of them, but she didn't.
Bruh.
She lied.
She failed. You fell and you try again. All right. Well, so Monday, kind of a bust, but today, Tuesday, it's our recording day. You had your infusion today.
Yeah, my nurse actually tried chasing me down because I gave him a Boba Fett helmet, and he kind of chased me down. I look like Kendrick Lamar at the Super Bowl.
His infusion nurse is Mr. Mike, and he's had him pretty much all the years that he's been there, with a few sprinkled other nurses here and there. But Mr. Mike is like John's homeboy.
I give a shout out to Michael. If you're watching, Michael, thank you, man.
You know he's gonna blow you up when he sees this episode, and you give him that shout out. He's gonna have a big head for a while. Yeah. Okay. All right. Cool. All right. Well, it was kind of funny because after he took the Boba Fett helmet off, he found pink glitter in there from your sister.
No, that actually wasn't from Sammy. That was from my friend's little sister, because I went trick-or-treating with him.
That is hilarious.
Yeah.
So he had pink glitter on him all day, I'm sure, after that.
Well, he had a face mask on, so it's on the face mask.
Oh, okay. That's so funny. Well, and then also they ramped up your infusion rate today. How was that?
I don't know, man. I felt kind of nauseous.
Yeah. Something to get used to, for sure.
Yeah, didn't really like it, but I guess it's because I lack of food this morning.
Yeah, maybe we just need to like eat a banana or something.
A banana? I'm not trying to be a minion. Papa? Papa?
I mean, you could be Bob. Gonna change your name to Bob. Ding! All right. Let's get started. Okay, so last week we introduced the disease and we introduced our whys. And the next few episodes, we are going to let you dive into our lives. So we're going to be introducing ourselves, and today it's all about Johnny Boy over here.
Don't call me
Johnny Boy.
No,
Johnny Boy.
We're not going back to this morning, man.
Okay. All right. So we wrote out some notes. I'm sorry, I'm going to have my phone for this because I want to try to help John stay on top of things. Okay. So life at your young age.
Life at my peak.
Your
the peak of life.
If your peak is at 14, we're having an issue.
What? No.
All right.
The peak of life is at the younger ages.
When you don't have any problems or
Yeah.
have school or anything. It's true. All right. So do you want me to kind of explain like the timeline or do you want to do it?
Just go ahead and say the
Sorry.
timeline.
Infusion days are always the tired days. Sorry. Okay, so timeline. Okay. So when John was 4, we got him diagnosed with high functioning autism, which makes you more awesome. And then when John was 8, that's when we found out that all of us had Fabry's. So
Now, if you don't really know what Fabry is or you need a short summary, go back to the first episode before you watch this one.
don't be skipping around.
That's just my suggestion. That's just my suggestion.
Okay. Calm down, sir. All right. So at 4, you really kind of didn't know, kind of really weren't aware of, I guess, the autism, but I can kind of speak on this a little bit and then we can move on to the Fabry's. So when you were 4 or like a little bit before you were 4, you had some different little quirks that that we kind of noticed or I noticed and your teacher at school, like you were at a preschool kind of thing, noticed you were very sensory driven. So running your hands through beads and really couldn't stay on task. And when you would transition to things, it was really, really hard for you. It would take like I think it would take like an hour for you to transition from like a classroom to like lunch or, something like that. And it would take a lot of coaching to get you there. And then like the biggest thing for me was I saw it when you were scared mostly or like when you were excited. So like you would flap your arms when you were excited. And then when you were scared, you would ball up. But you showed that you were scared a lot more than a lot of the other kids around you, especially heights. That was like the biggest thing. And I was like, this is a little bit more than what I would typically see with other kids, right? So, honestly, it took me a lot of convincing to go and get you tested for autism. I'm not gonna lie.
So there's this one time, and this is a part of my story, is we went to Chattanooga and there was a wax museum.
Gatlinburg.
Yeah, or Gatlinburg. I'm sorry.
You're fine.
So in Gatlinburg, there was the wax museum with like famous, celebrities, movie,
Mhm.
and on the outside there was like a King Kong that you can go on. I thought it was pretty cool because I was into
King Kong and all, like
like
Godzilla and all that.
kaiju movies.
Yeah.
So we went in and what I remember is we were going up these stairs and I kind of curled up into a ball after seeing how high up we were.
What do you do when you go upstairs? What is our prep for when we go upstairs?
Look down.
What? We don't look down.
Wait, no, I meant like look down at the stairs, look down at
Oh
our feet.
yeah. But like what do you gravitate toward?
Like a parent or guardian.
Yeah. So he always tends to grab my arm and he's always done this. Always tends to grab my arm right at my elbow. And he always tends to walk on the wall side of stairs.
And we live in Nashville, so we'd go to Bridgestone Arena, which is like a hockey stadium. And if we went up on the escalators, there are no wall sides. You would like it's both like showing like the areas of Bridgestone.
So I have to kind of put him close to me. Anyways, get back to your wax museum story. It's a good one.
Well, I
Oh,
think
sure.
you remember a lot more than I do. I only remember curling up into a ball on the staircase and saying, "Can we go back down?"
Yeah. So we went with Mimal and Sammy, his younger sister. And Sammy was I think you were probably 5. And so Sammy well, no, you were 7 because Sammy was 2. She was 1. So anyway, you were really scared at first, and I kind of walked you through, and I was like, okay, we'll get on the wall. We'll, just go through it like we always do. And so we got up the stairs, and then you turned the corner, and there was this see-through bridge,
The glass bridge,
the glass bridge,
like in Squid Game.
pretty much. I don't know. I've never watched Squid Game, so I really can't speak to that.
I've I've seen like a map on like a game or something.
Well, anyway, so you saw that glass bridge and you dropped immediately, like to your knees, like curled.
Like an Omni droid when it goes into a ball.
Yes, exactly like that. So then you like got in the fetal position and you start screaming and you had your hands over your ears. And I think that was the first time, honestly, that Mima had ever seen you have an episode like that. And we call those TISM episodes now because, So anyway, I told my mom, Mima, I told her, I said, it's okay, take Sammy, you can go, and I'll take John downstairs. And so I had to take him all the way outside to get you to calm
I
down.
thought we were going to I thought we went into like the little shop area.
We did after I took you outside and calmed you down enough to where you stopped screaming. Then I took you inside and kind of walked you around. So John also has this thing where he likes to buy a little remembrance item and he holds those memories really well with his objects. So every time we go and do something, it's a memory for him.
It's like if I like touch the object, it's kind of like
Yeah,
I
you can.
automatically remember.
Mhm. So that was kind of like our okay, this is the real deal. So then after that, we found out you had Fabry's because I found out I had Fabry's and we went through all of that. And do you remember when you were at the hospital getting your blood drawn?
Not really,
Because you
because
were 8.
it was more of like a scarier thing, so I'd try to forget it.
Yeah. So when when I found out, I came back to Mema's house because y'all were with her. And we sat down with you and Sammy outside, which Sammy, still pretty young, can't really talk to her, but we tried to sit you down and try to explain to it as to the best of our knowledge what it was at the time because we didn't really know. And so we just said that we had to go and get some blood drawn and everything. And we had to prep you really good so you could go and at least walk into the hospital. And when we had to get the blood drawn, we had a child life specialist there that helped like show you videos and show you, and it was Tyler, showed you videos and showed you pictures and everything and tried to prep you as much as possible. And then, so you and Sammy had to get blood drawn, and then we
I don't
waited
think that
two
was at the
weeks.
infusion clinic. I think that
It
was on. I think it was on the other side.
it was on the other side. It was in the same area. It was just on the other side at the blood draw area. So 2 weeks later, they called me when we were on our way up to Clarksville to hang out with some friends, and I ended up having to pull over on the side of the road because I was like, "It's really happening." And so I didn't tell you at first because I, like, had to kinda wrap my head around it, so I waited until we got back. Because my mom just kinda just having the mom there just kinda helps the situation. So anyway, so she helped me kinda tell you guys, "Hey, guys, like, just like you have autism and you're a little bit more special than everyone else, you also have this thing called Fabry's disease." And I know you remember, like, you were very confused looking and everything, and I told you that we would have to start getting treatments and that it was pretty serious and that we would learn more together as time went on. Um, and so fast forward, because there wasn't really that much in between. I started my infusions first so I could make sure that I knew what to expect for John. So, when we had our first appointment, do you remember that at all?
Yes, so I remember, well, first when they, I think that when they told us we had Fabry's, the child life specialist wanted to show me the clinic, and
Mhm.
that's when I first met Michael,
Mhm.
right? So, I mean, it looked like a pretty cool place. And I was like, yeah, I could be here. And
They had a lot of cool things. They had an Xbox. They had board games. They had all of these things, and John
that,
was like, "Bro."
of course, Xbox is the main console I own. And so, no offenses to any PlayStation people out there, but Xbox is my console. But anyway, as I was saying, I was like, this is a pretty cool, like, chill place. And fast forward a few, and it's my first infusion, right? Didn't I bring some stuff?
You brought Shasta.
Which is a little stuffed dog I have that my Mima got me.
Yeah, when you
And
were 3.
yeah,
You
because I,
still have that guy.
and you, I think you remember more about it because I was 3.
Yeah. So, that day that we went, so
No, I was gonna keep saying
oh,
the
talk
infusion.
about that. We'll talk. We can talk about Shasta later.
I mean, that's also a key part of my life too. That's like, wasn't that like the first stuffy I got?
No, you had a lot of stuffies when you were younger. It was just when we were living in Colorado, Mima and Grandpa Gary came up and saw you and us and everything, and then we went to a couple different places, and um, God, it's escaping my memory now where we went. Grand, grand something. But we went there, and then you saw Shasta, and you walked around with him like confidently, like that was your dog, and you weren't putting it down. And I was like, "There's no way I'm getting that for you." And Memo was like, "Come here, baby. Memo, I'll get it for you. Come here, little man. Memo, I'll get it for you." So that was your stuffy from there on out. And Shasta has been the rock star, honestly, the go-to guy for all your scary events. So anyway, so he was there for your first infusion.
I went to my first infusion. I was told and I don't remember much still, but what I was told is that it took an hour to get the IV in my arm because I was so scared.
Yes, you were very scared. There were a lot of tears that day. You were crying. You were very scared. Michael was your Mr. Mike was his nurse, and he was phenomenal, and so was Tyler. Tyler no longer works at Vanderbilt, but he, oh my gosh, they were so patient, and John kind of backed himself into a corner and sat down and was pretty much screaming no. And Mr. Michael sat down with you and like talked with you, and I mean he sat there for a good while, and honestly, I don't even know how long it was, but it felt like a long time. And he sat there with you and, let you trust him and everything. And, Tyler sat there with you and y'all played games on the little iPad and everything until you got comfortable enough. And then, after I wiped my tears away, um, I sat down and I asked if you wanted to sit on my lap, and you sat on my lap, and we got the freezy spray out. And that was the first time you ever sprayed Mr. Mike with the freezy spray.
Oh my god.
So, and that was a thing for a long time. He had to spray Mr. Mike with the freezy spray before he ever got his infusion. So that was the day. And
It was also a prank I did on him too.
yeah, it has evolved. The chaos when they go to the infusion and it's him and Mr. Mike has evolved. So I guess really I was putting this together today, like you really didn't understand completely that you had autism until you were in the 5th grade?
Yep.
And then you didn't really understand that you had Fabry's, like what Fabry's really meant until we went to that conference. I mean, you kind of knew about it and you were like, all right, this is what I have, this is what I have to do. But you didn't really like know the details, I guess.
Right.
Yeah. Well, that's bad on my part. I'm sorry. So, what is one of the biggest memories that you have with Mr. Mike since we talking about him?
So one time, so it's like, was it like near Christmas?
I don't know which story you're about to tell, so I have no idea.
So people at the hospital aren't really allowed to do this, but Mr. Mike got me a gift, and I was really into dinosaurs at the time. So he got me a Jurassic World dinosaur for Christmas, and I was so hyped about it. I was like,
Yeah, but what was the reason behind it? Do you remember?
no.
So with our treatment, when you get into like, you know, the like 13th or 14th or 15th time of your infusion, there is a higher possibility that you could have a little bit of a reaction. Well, John had a pretty big reaction. He started like having a hard time breathing and all these things. Well,
And that day, I had brought in like a
John is
pack
notorious for bringing a crazy amount of stuff
new
to
stuff.
his infusion to show everybody. And so he was waiting. You remember that? You were
Oh
waiting to
yeah.
show.
So I brought this dinosaur. I had brought this pack of like small, like mini dinosaurs,
Mm.
and it was from a show I watched called Camp Cretaceous. Which, if y'all watched it, if like people my age watched it, it was pretty good. But basically, I was wanting to show the nurses there, but they didn't have time to see it because they had other patients to take care of, which I understand. I understood at the
Yeah.
time, and they were really wanting to see it. So then what had happened was, and you can go ahead and keep telling the story.
So, he was waiting and they got really, really busy, which, they see a lot of patients there, a lot of chemo treatments, a lot of, genetic infusions, a lot of different things. So they were really busy and they were like, John, I promise we'll come and see you here in a few minutes and everything like that. And by the time that they were able to come over there, he had IV Benadryl and a steroid and stuff to calm down the reaction that he had, and he was out. I mean, you were a rock solid out. And I remember having to carry you out of there, and I was like, "Oh my gosh, you're like a ton of bricks at this point." But yeah, they felt so god awful bad and everything. And it was 2 days before Christmas that he had that infusion, and so the next time that he came in, um, they had bought you that dinosaur because it's one that he had been talking about. It was his favorite dinosaur. This was one of his obsessions at the time. And so it was his favorite dinosaur at the time. So they went out and they bought it for him. And John was so ecstatic. I started crying, of course, everything with you. But yeah, so it was amazing. Like that whole team over there was just, and they have been amazing. Like we went there today and I was like, we got another duffel bag of stuff to show you guys. And they're like, we love it. We can't wait. Like they're so excited to see everything that you do, like all the things that you bring, your Legos. They love it. They love the passion from you and everything.
Also, it was like an early Christmas gift on what
Mhm.
I gave him today, which was the 4 Xbox games I got him
Oh
for
yeah.
their Xbox over there. That was like an early Christmas gift for him.
Yeah. Okay. So what's one of the biggest, let's shift gears. What's one of the biggest problems that you have as a kid with autism and Fabry's?
School.
Yeah.
It's mainly school. So I'm an eighth grader in a middle school near our house, which, yeah, I know. I know, guys. Anyway, as I was saying, um, and one of the main problems I have is that people, they tend to be like, "Oh, yeah, your stuff's, like, fake or whatever. Stop faking it or whatever." It's kinda like, I'm not faking it. And this is, like, a legit thing, and y'all need to take stuff seriously or else, like, I'm gone or whatever. And many people say, like, "Oh, you don't have autism. You make such good, like, eye contact or whatever."
Yeah.
And yes, I know. I make good eye contact, but that doesn't mean, "Hey, I don't have autism." I do. If
Now,
and
let me interject there. The only reason he has really good eye contact is because we had a really, really amazing ABA therapist that came in when we first got him diagnosed, and his name was John. And he, like, worked wonders with John with, like, because John doesn't flap his arms and stuff like he used to and everything. And you're right. Everybody says that you look like a normal kid.
I'm not.
Keep going. I'm sorry.
No, you're good. So, trying to think here. Uh, hold on.
It's okay.
If I keep forgetting, I'm sorry.
It's okay.
It's like,
You were talking about, how people look at you and they say that you look normal and that you make eye
oh
contact
yeah,
and all
so
this.
a quick little story. So one time we went to the fair, and it's the Wilson County Fair, and like we went during the nighttime, so there's like a lot of lights and like lights, sounds, a lot of like loud stuff.
This was this year.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and it got to a point where I was passed out from pure I was so overwhelmed, and it was like I felt so like nauseous because my feet were burning, and it was like, and I was there with my friend, but then like he was on rides, he was trying to have a good time, so I stayed with the adults, which is what I typically do if I'm hanging out with like my cousins or whatever,
When you're
and
worried about having a flare up.
yeah, and that's a typical thing for Halloween.
Yeah.
But basically, what happened was I m like, my mom took one look at me, and what did you think when you saw me?
Well, I was concerned because I knew that you I knew that you were already I knew that you were already burning, but I could tell something else was wrong. And honestly, I will say this. You haven't had a TISM flare up in a long time. So it scared me a little bit to like have put you in that situation. Um but I was like I looked at Jace and I told him I was like we're like he's getting sick. Like he's gonna have a flare up real bad. And so
And if you've watched the first episode and the backstory on why we wanted to start the podcast, that's what happened after the fair. The really bad flare-up I had happened after the fair.
tell everybody like what you experienced because I mean, I can tell my side of that story, but like I want to hear what you felt during that. I mean, I know you said overwhelmed and I'll
So
say overstimulated was probably a great word for that too.
So one of the rides there is like this like Arctic style thing, and there's like loud music. There's like
Oh, the spinning
yeah,
car thing.
yeah.
Yeah.
Every time I look at a ride and I get overwhelmed, I picture myself on that ride and I'm like, yeah, no, I can't do this. So there's that ride, and it makes like this really loud like what kind of sound does it make?
It was making a whooshing sound, but it was also the music was insanely loud. It was insanely loud. Everybody that was there could speak on that. Like that was the loudest ride. That, and then that other ride was the other one that freaked you out. Remember the pendulum one?
Oh, yes, the, like, NASA looking one or, like, the rocket
Yeah.
ship looking one.
Mhm.
It was like it looked like I would look down at my feet, and then I would see, like, pitch black because that's what it was at the time. It was, like, pitch black out, and I was, looking around like a lunatic out of the asylum, and
So, kinda to clarify, so, like, what happened was, John was really trying to push through. He really wanted to be there with his friends. We have a really good family friend group that we love dearly, and they're so understanding and so helpful with things. So, me and John usually typically kind of clings on to me when things happen. So we were kind of pushing through, and he was doing okay. He would sit down when his feet were burning really bad and all things. And at one point, he was like, "Mom, I need to get away. I need to get away." And when he starts to repeat himself, I kind of know that something really is about to occur. And so I was like, "Okay, all right, let's go." And I just looked at everybody. I said, "We're gonna go. Take a moment. We'll be back." And so we walked, and we were walking through like the little midline area, little midway area, whatever it's called. And we walked, and there was like this like duck stand over here where you like catch the ducks and stuff. And then the pendulum thing was going. And John looked at it, and he looked at me, and he was like, "That thing's gonna kill us." And I was like, "No,
oh,
no,
I
it's
thought you were
not."
talking about, like, the, spaceship looking one because it's like a rotating one. It was like that, like,
No,
tall
the
like,
pendulum one that was like the
the
one that
Hulk,
we
yeah, that was called the Hulk.
yeah, that we walked, like, in between that and the duck thing, and you looked at me and you were like, "That thing is going to kill us." And I was like, "No, it's not." And I mean, can I show him how I had
Yeah,
you?
yeah.
So I had him like this, and I had him like this, and we were walking, and then I was like, "It's fine. We're gonna wait until till it swings that way, and then we'll walk past it, okay?" And so we didn't walk fast enough because it started coming back, and he started screaming at the top of his lungs, "It's going to kill us. It's going to kill us." And so I grabbed his head, and I just like tucked his head, and we ran. And a very nice sheriff kind of like showed me a place to like take him that's a little bit more quiet, so we calmed down there, and then we went over to the shops like we always do.
Well, no, I think we did go to the shops before that.
Yeah, we went over because that little quiet area where the bathrooms are,
Yeah, yeah.
and then we went to the shops. And you calmed down, and everything was okay, but then it was like, he's gonna be out of school for the next few days because, I mean,
This
we
was on a
know.
Thursday too, and that day that I had the really bad flare up was when I went to school. And we'll continue on with the fair story.
No, that's fine. We kinda hit that point, but, so
At that
at school
at
that day.
school that day is when I was walking with Lucas down the hall because we were trying to get to our classes, and that we were like on our way to like our fourth period. And then Lucas looks at me and he's like, "John, you don't look too good, man." I'm like, "I do not feel good at all." And he's like, "Do you need, like, help or anything?" I'm like, "Nah, I got it." I almost fell in the hallway that, like, in the next 3 minutes.
If I
And
would have known that, we definitely would not have gone to the fair.
well, no, because I wanted to go to the ferry because, like, I was like, "Okay, I could, like, spend some time with, like, my friends there and whatever." And I ended up only hanging out with Lucas, like, for a good minute or 2 before we went on the, like, rides and whatnot.
Yeah, but he's really good about understanding you and really understanding like when you don't feel good and everything. So it's really good to have him as a friend.
As a support, yeah.
Yeah, for sure. Okay. So like let's switch gears. So we've heard a lot of struggle, right?
Mhm.
So triumphs. So like I'm sorry. You know, you tried baseball, right? And
I did. It was kind of rough.
it was kind of rough. You really liked it, but like the running and stuff like that really caused your feet to burn. But then we found what? What do you do? So you bowl. So there's something that you can look forward to, right? Like, yeah, you're not like the typical like jock guy, which, hey guys, so like you don't play football, you don't play baseball, whatever, right? You do bowling, you like 3D printing.
I'm more of a tech kid than
Yeah.
anything.
So talk about that. Talk about those triumphs. Like these are things that you can do when you can't be super active, with things.
So one of my biggest hobbies to do is gaming, and people can tell you that most of the time. You can say it right now.
Yeah. Fortnite.
No, not Fortnite. Not just Fortnite, Mom. There's a lot of things.
Exactly.
A lot of things.
Fortnite.
No. I don't want to hear it. No.
Anyway, so yeah,
There's
you do
also more.
gaming.
There's Mortal Kombat too.
Yeah. You do 3D printing. You love that, even though if the printer's broke, I know I'm getting it fixed. It's fine.
Come on, Mom.
Mhm. And then you have, I know this is gonna be a long episode. It's fine, right?
Well, it's my story. It's gonna be long.
Yep. You're right. We all know that.
Stop laughing. We need to.
All right. So, it's something that you, it's something that you love, the 3D printing. You actually want to fix your 3D printer. Like the whole thing that started with that is the tech camps.
Yep.
That you went to, because you can't go to like a normal camp because of how much the flare-ups are, and
Other than the Fabry's camp, because I can most definitely go to that.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Which again, we're gonna have a special episode of that later on. So you do bowling, you do 3D printing, you go to tech camp, you go to you
Last
work.
year I actually did, or this year I actually did animation, so that's pretty cool.
Yeah, they have different things. So like, I mean, you love to draw, you love to do all those things. So there's not just bad things about that race, right? And autism, right? So like there's all these good things. Even though you may not be that really boisterous boy, you still have like
I
those.
also, another hobby I do really like, and this is a really fun one of mine, is collecting
Yeah.
any
You should see his room, bro. Oh my god.
action figures ranging from old to new,
Yeah.
old, new, Legos, whatever.
Pop figures, Legos. At first it was Harry Potter, now it's Star Wars,
And
all the things.
it's Star Wars, The Incredibles, because I do like The Incredibles,
And you like Marvel.
Marvel, and DC.
Yeah. All right. So, okay. Let's kind of take the focus off of just Fabray's. What are all the things that make you John?
I don't know, man. I mean, so there's The Incredibles. I
Yeah.
know. Once I get in, and there's like, here's something that y'all need to know about me real quick, is that I will know like a story behind something in the span of like 30 minutes. You give me a movie to watch, I can find out the story behind it in like 30 minutes.
He's a
Tops.
conspiracist.
No, I'm not. I'm a theorist. I'm either a film theorist or a game theorist.
Yeah. So
Shout out to Matt Pat.
like,
Shout out to game theory.
so you really like, you do focus on things. And when I say focus, you obsess. Like when you lock in on something, it is there. Dinosaurs was one thing. Pokemon was one thing. Harry Potter was one thing. Star Wars, another thing. Marvel has always been a thing.
DC's a new one.
DC is a new one.
Because I haven't liked DC until I watched like when I at least played Injustice 2, which was the Mortal Kombat version
Mhm.
of DC. Some pretty cool characters I found out about, like Red Hood, which is like one of the Robins. If
Yeah.
he if Batman died or whatever.
Mhm. I don't know anything about that. So I ain't even gonna sit here and try to act like I do. But all I know is from DC, my girl Wonder Woman.
Okay, mom,
That's my
you
girl.
can calm down.
That's my girl.
One of my cousins just really likes Batman.
Oh yeah. She's obsessed with Batman. Anyways, let's get back. Let's get back.
So,
Stay focused.
say The Incredibles. I watch The Incredibles a lot, and she can tell you that too.
Yeah.
I watch it on a daily basis. I love the movie, and I love the story behind it, with heroes going into hiding and like one of the main villains, Syndrome, like gets these villain or heroes to come to the island and kills them off one by one with Omni droids, which are the giant robots that you would see in the movie.
Can I take a right turn with this?
What?
I just thought about something. Do you think you love The Incredibles so much because they're different from other people?
I don't know. I mean, I like some of the heroes because they remind me of other heroes from different universes. Like Gazer Beam
Yeah.
reminds me of Cyclops from X-Men.
Yeah. They're spin-offs for sure. But I just thought about it because it's like, you do tend to kind of go with themes of like things being different. Because I feel like you feel like you're different, which you are, but like in a honestly a better way than normal. But I'm just saying, you know what I'm saying? Like I just feel like maybe that's the reason why you gravitate toward that kind of stuff so much because like it kind of gives you like that little insight, like, okay, like different is good,
Yeah,
different is strong.
there's also plenty of shows I watch, and one of them is
Young Sheldon.
no.
Oh, that is like that foresees the future at all points in time.
Well, it's also the family's so much more different from the townspeople. It's like they're different, they're cool.
Yeah. Okay. So let's start wrapping this up. What is one thing that you want everybody to know about you? Like one thing, if you just left this podcast with just this, what is one thing that you would want people to know about you?
I'm Bart Simpson. No, I'm joking. But I don't know. I don't know.
There's something at the conference that I remember you saying, and I feel like maybe if I say it, maybe it'll kind of gear you again. But like when you were at the conference, you stood up and one of the ladies asked you like, what if you could speak to your peers? What would you want them to know? And you said, I wish they could understand how much pain I am in when I'm in it. So, like, what's something like hearing that again? What is something for you, if you're looking out at everybody else, that you would want them to know about you?
I mean, people how I would feel
Yeah. So, like,
with all these comments that I keep getting you're you're weird, not weird, but you're faking the autism thing, give it up. You're faking your disease or whatever. Tough it out. Do whatever. I can't tough it out. You don't know how I feel. Yes, my autism and ADHD and dyslexia and stuff like that, it's all real. You can ask my parents, guardians, whoever on most of the stuff you're saying to me. Yes, my stuff is real. They can literally prove it too.
you're not you're not normal. You just have extra pizzazz to you.
Okay.
I don't know how else to say it. I'm sorry. I'm like trying not to cry right now because I just I just hate that you feel like people don't like at school, like don't support you and that you don't have that, you know? And I mean, you have it with all of us and you have it with these new people that um you've met with Fabry's and everything like that. But like I just hate that people they don't they see it as well, I mean, you have invisible to invisible, diseases or, complications or whatever you want to call them because you're not so severe with your autism, you've gotten help with it or, what have you. And so people, they can't just take you for your word for it or whatever. But like being in pain, I know that pain hurts. And I know that sometimes it's so hard to stay focused because you're in so much pain. And it really like hurts my heart that, people just can't open their eyes and understand, and, this again, like for me, just kind of solidifies why we should do this, and everything. Right. And so yeah, you're normal, but like you're normal with like some kind of extra, what do you want to call it?
Oh, well.
You're cool weird. Oh, real cool weird. Got you. Mm-hmm.
You don't know, man.
Mm-hmm. Well, all right. Well, I mean, I think that's good, like everybody just be understanding.
I just like doing that. I like straightening it out.
That's the tism.
Anyway,
It's the tism right there.
I think we're all good.
Yeah, I think we're wrapping this one up, guys.
All right. Well, like, share, comment, subscribe. Well, YouTube's not working, so we don't know about that. But
Yeah, for some reason. But what we got? We got Instagram,
Spotify, maybe TikTok. Who knows?
TikTok's coming, and Apple Podcasts. We put that up yesterday, something like that. So get out there. Let's blow this up again. You guys are amazing, and I do also, just real quick, want to give a shout out because I started being an ambassador for a really amazing company that has a really amazing brand and word that they want to get out, and it's called Own Your Stigma, and it's all about mental health. And so I'm wearing one of their shirts, which is phenomenal, and it says Your Story Matters.
And did you make that? Or
No, they made this. I've got quite a few things, but if you would like to get 15% off, I'll put my link in the bio of this podcast. You like how I did that? You like how I did that? All right, guys. Thank you so much for stopping by, hanging out with us for pretty much an hour. We really appreciate it, and we hope that you enjoyed this little segment of John's little life here. Next week, you will get to hear my story and all the little struggles and triumphs that I've had, and I'll touch on some mom guilt and who knows what else has to come. But we appreciate you guys. We love you, and you're not alone. And if you ever need us, holler at us, and we'll see you later. Peace out.